Hey guys, I'm on a quest. I want an axe. And not only do I want an axe, but I want a good axe. I want a great axe. I want something that's really gonna just perform really good, be one of the best things I can get, and something that'll last me a lifetime, that I can pass down to my son and will still be good for him. And so I started doing some research, because I've got tomahawks, I got like this cold steel here, and I've got one of the S-wing axes, and a couple of camp hatchets and stuff like that, and I started doing research. And, the talking heads on the internet pretty much say, if you're going to buy an axe, it's got to be a Gransfors or a Wetterling or whatever, and, and I started kind of convincing myself, well, maybe I will get a Wetterlings or a Gransfors, and I started doing research, and the more and more I read, the more and more I saw that these things have the same problems that the cheaper axes on the market are having as well. The internet is just full of stories of the axes not being tempered right, and the blades chipping and breaking, handles not being put on correctly, using wood filler around the eye to make it fit right, and of course once you start using it heavy, that wood filler kind of breaks loose. The internet is just full of these stories, and those are expensive axes. You're talking $150, $200. So what was I to do? I kind of felt like, oh geez, I'm not going to find a good axe because I'm not spending $150 on something that looks like quality control isn't what they make themselves out to be. So I talked to some people, people I know who cut wood for a living and rely on axes and know a lot about axes, and they're not, just those internet talking heads that troll forums. And you know what they said? Get yourself a good old American-made axe, because in the end, these things were made unbelievably. People told me, get a Kelly, get a Plum, get a Collins, get a good name brand American-made axe that was made somewhere between the 20s and the 70s. Why is that? Back then they didn't use garbage recycled steel over and over again in their products. They weren't looking to make the biggest amount of profit possible. These guys were making a good quality product for people who depended on them. Logging in America was huge in that time period, and there wasn't chainsaws. People relied on axes, and America was one of the biggest producers of axes in the world, and they were renowned for their quality. We did a great job. It was American steel. It was, a big area of pride. And so I started doing research and reading about it, and I watched quite a few videos on YouTube of people actually putting vintage axes up against Gransfors, and they were doing better. They were winning. Don't believe me. Look it up yourself. Look up videos of vintage axes and people doing cutting tests with them, and guys, they are quite remarkable. We've really lost something in this country in the past 30 years. We've really lost that ability to make quality products. So here we go. I thought about it, and in the spirit of this channel, I can't in good conscience go out and buy a Gransfors or a Wetterlings, tell you guys to spend $200 when there's an alternative out there that will get you a really good quality axe, which is this right here. Go out, go to a garage sale, yard sale, estate sale, whatever, and you can find old axes with broken handles and just axe heads lying around for cheap. You can go on eBay and you can snipe these things for cheap. This here is a Collins I picked up on eBay. $17 shipped. Not bad. It's going to cost me $10 to put a new handle on it. You're talking $27 for a really high quality double bit American made axe. Probably, 50s to 70s. I don't know that well, but it has a lot of life. As you can see, it really hasn't been sharpened a ton. Some pretty good quality. The edge is all there. It's really not been abused. This has got a lot of life left, guys. This really does. And so, of course, I can't just buy one. So I have to buy another one. So I picked up this boy's axe, which I think will make a great bushcraft axe. Of course, it's not as good a shape as the double bit, but I only paid $11 for this shipped. So after a new handle, this is going to be a $20 axe. You know, I'm going to clean it up, restore it, get a good quality handle on it, and this is going to be a great bushcraft axe. This is a 2 1/4 pound boy's axe, and I'm going to put a 28-inch boy's axe handle on it, and I'm guessing this is going to be one hell of an axe. And this one here, this is a Homestead brand, which is essentially a Collins. I think this one was made more in the era of the 40s. It's not as good shape, you know, as you can see, it's got some mushrooming. There's definitely some pitting and rust, but the eye looks to be in great shape. The blade's in great shape. There's still a lot of life left on that blade. It hasn't been sharpened a ton. This really looks like it's going to be a great project. So here I go, guys. I'm going to literally spend $50, and I'm going to get 2 very high quality American made axes for $50. And the amount of work it's going to take to restore these, you're talking maybe half an hour to an hour a piece, if even, you know. It's not going to be a lot of work, and I'm really excited about the whole project because, you know, I think this channel is about helping people save money and finding some of the best gear out there for the money. And I'll tell you what, guys, old vintage axe heads are everywhere. I can't believe how many times I've walked past garage sales and I've walked past, you know, like estate sales and seen old axes like this and just said, nah, you know, walk by them and not cared. And, you know, after talking to a couple of people and doing all this research, I'm really kicking myself because over the years I could have had some really great axes for really, really cheap. And, you know, but what are you going to do? Now that I'm smart to it, you know, I kind of got excited. And it's not like garage sale time of the year, so I bought these couple on eBay. And they're going to turn into a great project, and they're going to be really good quality. And, you know, I think in the end, I'm going to get 2 really good axes for a quarter of the price of a Gransfors or a Wetterling. And I highly recommend, guys, if you're out in your travels and you see these things, pick them up. Get a handle, put a new handle. You don't even have to clean them up, guys. It's completely optional to clean these up. These, you know, you can just sharpen these, throw a handle on, and beat the hell out of them. You know, these things are a generation old, and they're still around, and they're still good because we use good steel. We made them right. We tempered the edges with nice hard steel. We used soft steel on the pole. You know, we did it and built them right. That's a big thing in America back then was axes. We were a big producer. We're one of the biggest producers in the world, and we made them right, guys. You know, we really did, and it's a good thing to take advantage of. And the same thing goes with knives, guys. If you are looking for a really good knife, don't be afraid to go on eBay and just do a search on vintage knives. And you can find some old, beat up, rusty knives that are good carbon steel. And you can restore them for pretty much nothing. Just carve a wooden handle for them, you know. A couple of brass rivets, you know. You know, there's a lot of good stuff we used to make out there, and there's a lot of life left in them, and a lot of people don't see that. So, you know, I'm hoping you guys watch this video, and it kind of inspires you to go out and do the same, because, you know, this is a great way to save money and a great way to give yourself a good product, something for your house that will last you forever. So, hope you guys enjoyed.